Coach, good morning. How are you? It's good to see you.
Jordy, good morning. I'm doing great. Yourself?
I'm doing okay, man. It is. I saw you last Saturday night. We were at the Louisiana Coaches Basketball Association banquet, which is always a great night to bring those personalities into one room. For you representing LSU on that night in our state, how cool was that for you?
Oh, that was awesome, especially getting to present the award for the State Coach of the Year to Eric Conkle. We were roommates together in grad school 22 years ago, so I've always had the great respect for him, and he did an incredible job at Louisiana Tech.
Coach, the work that you have done, I was saying earlier, I don't know if there is a superlative, I don't know if there's a phrase to describe the challenge that you've had and the work that you've done since then to make this roster what it looks like today. Can you wrap up what the last 7 weeks have been like for you and your staff?
Yeah, sure. I think, Jordy, the most important part was getting off to a great start by hiring an elite staff, and we were able to attract not only 3 great assistant coaches, but our support staff is terrific and a lot of experience. It was really helpful for me when you walk into a situation with 0 scholarship players. That can be overwhelming. So we just went about the process of methodically building the roster. Tried to stack a bunch of good days back to back. And really, from a recruiting standpoint, I looked at it as 4 different segments to building this roster. The first one was identifying who would fit from the returning roster, who could we build a quick relationship with and show a vision for them that LSU is the place for them to stay. And, really excited about Mwani Wilkinson, Justice Williams, and Adam Miller.
Sure.
And their decisions to be a part of this foundation of what we want to build here. The second phase was really trying to get older faster and get some experience on the roster. And that's where you look at our 3 players that are coming with us from Murray State, all 21, 22, 23 years of age, have won a lot of games, have won NCAA tournament games in multiple years. So excited about that second phase. The third phase was the portal, which we wanted to add some experience there. Not to bore you to death here, Jordy, but there's so many challenges when you start at 0. Mm-hmm. It's not only getting good players, but you have to balance your classes. You have to balance your perimeter, your point guards, and your front court. So through the portal, we were able to add 3 additional players there. And Derek Fountain, Cam Hayes, and Kendall Coleman, who have 2 years experience, also have 3 years of eligibility remaining. And then the fourth and final phase, which I thought was critical, was to hit the ground running right away. I think at LSU you can recruit the best players in the country. Mm-hmm. And so we wanted to identify the best available players in the country and quickly build relationships there and show them our plan. Our player development process, our style of play, the passionate fan base, obviously the SEC, all those things that make LSU great. And thrilled with where we landed there with the 4 high school players we were able to sign. Great talent, great size, 6'7", 6'10", 6'10", and 7 feet, all with big upside. So really excited with where we've landed here.
We mentioned that at the beginning of the show today, Coach. I think the most impressive part of what you've accomplished is not only have you gotten the players into the program, but you've done it very strategically. It looks like a puzzle that fits together. The icing on the cake yesterday being the 7-footer and Sean Phillips, who inked his letter of intent out of Glendale. How challenging was that? Just to, like you said, you started from 0. I mean, Coach, you actually, to me, you started from a negative portion of a starting base, and to stay strategic along that way in the vision of what you wanted to build. I'd imagine that was very challenging to get to this point.
Well, certainly very challenging with a lot of the circumstances outside of our control. But, we just stayed focused on the process of what we want to build here. Selfishly in recruiting, I'm going to recruit my kind of guys, guys who fit the culture, guys who want to be a part of something bigger than themselves, guys who want to make an impact in Baton Rouge and the LSU campus on and off the court. And so we just stayed committed to that process. And really the credit just goes to our assistant coaches, and support staff. They've just done an unbelievable job of working to reestablish our roster here going into year one.
On the floor, Coach, do you have a specialty or a side of the floor that you stick with? Do you like to coach the bigs or the guards in particular?
I love it all. I think we got a reputation over the years for the point guard position, just with guys like John Morant and Cameron Payne, Isaiah Cannon, Jonathan Stark, some of the elite point guards we had over the years at Murray State. But I enjoy all of it. I think the wings, the shooting guard, Tevin Brown that we had and got to spend 4 years with now, hoping he's going to be able to sneak into the second round in the draft next month. And then I love the big guys. It's a little bit longer process than it might be for the guards, but love being able to recruit and sign 6'10", 7-footers. And help them develop their skills inside and outside.
We had Cody Worsham on earlier in the show. He was here in studio with us at 7:30 and said he saw you and Adam Miller walking around campus a couple of weeks ago, and he kind of gave a silent fist pump saying, look at that, the relationship is there, it's being built, those guys are kind of vibing together. What was that recruitment like? And then obviously the news of Miller pledging back to the program last week. What do you get in Miller in just what he brings to the program?
Oh, it was awesome. Love Adam Miller. Really wanted to respect his process and let him work his way through all his options and see what was going to be the best fit for him. I really just, everyone's probably blown away when they look. Had a solid freshman year at Illinois. You see the performance he had with USA Basketball. But really getting to spend time with him, find out how smart he is, his basketball IQ, his competitive drive, how much he wants to become the best player he's capable of being, was really a lot of fun this spring. And so obviously we're thrilled that he's going to be with the Tigers. And he's worked extremely hard in his rehab. Sean Eddy's done an unbelievable job with him, our trainer, and just excited for him to get back to 100%. And I really expect to challenge him to take on a leadership role with this team.
Yeah, Coach KJ Williams, when he pledged, that caused a lot of waves. He was the Conference Player of the Year last year. He really had and tackled a position of need for you guys, and obviously he came out and said it was because of the relationship that you guys had in building over the last couple of years. He felt comfortable to come to Baton Rouge and finish his college career. What did the Tigers get in KJ Williams, and obviously what did it mean to grab him out of the portal in where you guys were?
I'm excited he's going to tolerate me for another year. We recruited him for 2 and coached him for 4. So, a 6-year relationship there. If you go back and look at his statistical development, it's very impressive. He made 1 3 his freshman year, and then became a guy who was making 5 threes in a game at 6'10", 250. All of that stuff is great, but I've really enjoyed watching his growth and development as a man, as a leader. He's obviously very mature now, coming in as the Player Conference of the Year. He's delivered on the biggest stage, but I just love his versatility. Mm-hmm. And he's a great teammate. Guys love playing with him. Very unselfish. Can score a variety of ways. Not necessarily a rim protector as a shot blocker, but he is a terrific defender. Was second in our league in steals this year, and a great rebounder as well. So really the total package, at 6'10", 250.
I'd imagine that a ton of the attention has been put on building this roster and getting to this point, and just how challenging of a task that is in itself. But now that you wake up today and you've got 13 on scholarship and your roster looks to be filled going into the offseason, how does the focus switch, or where do you go now?
Well, I think the next couple of weeks, the opportunity to reach out to a lot of former players and people here in the community that you just, in a normal transition, you would have gotten to do a lot more of that earlier. But with just the need to build the roster, that's taken up the majority of our time. But then as you look at the summer, I think it's really critical. And as excited as I am about our roster, all we are is a collection of individuals. Mm-hmm. That's all we are. We have talented individuals. But we got to build a team. Yeah. And so, I talked about those 4 kind of areas of focus and how we broke up the recruiting process to build this roster. Now we got to take those 4 areas and make them one connected team. And I think you have to be very intentional in that. So it's going to be a huge summer for us.
I know you hadn't even been able to put the luggage down here in Baton Rouge to kind of settle in, but you did have a chance to ride around the state with some of the other coaches and Scott Woodward and Stephanie Rimp, and even Cody was there. What was that like for you, kind of getting out and reaching and touching some of the fans around the state of Louisiana?
Oh, it's been awesome. It's been great just seeing, growing up. I'm a diehard SEC guy since the day I was born. So I've always seen the passion and the pride in the LSU program from afar. But to get to experience that, traveling across the state, meeting a lot of fans and generous donors to the program has been great. And it's been a lot of fun getting to spend time with the other coaches. That's one of the reasons I wanted to come here. One of the many reasons is you have the elite coaches in all of college sports here, and the opportunity to learn from them and get better is really exciting for me.
Coach, have you started to even look at next year's schedule, and where is that in the process in building that?
Yeah, we're making progress there. It hasn't been the main focus.
Sure.
Kind of like starting over with the roster. It's the same deal with the schedule. Mm-hmm. The only thing that was set was this tournament in the Cayman Islands, which I'm certainly not complaining about. Right. Will be a nice trip. But no, from there, really want to have a good balance in the schedule. There certainly needs to be a different approach in year 1 than I hope we'll be in year 2, 3, 4 down the road. We got to build a team, and so there'll be some reflection in the schedule of a coaching staff that took over a program in the SEC with 0 players. But we'll work to where we're getting the Power 5 games and want to have attractive home-and-home series as we move forward in the future.
Coach, I know you're very busy. I appreciate your time here on this Wednesday morning. Before we get out of here, just a shout-out to your staff, who I know behind the scenes have been working tirelessly to assist you to get to this point where you are this morning with the roster put intact and looking towards the off season. Kind of, if you can, talk about the responsibilities and the hard work of your staff up to this point.
Well, I said it in my first press conference. You win in life with great people, and that was my first call here. And after taking over the program was to attract elite people, elite coaches to our program. Was able to do that. I mean, we have the best of the best. Casey Long, who came with me from Murray State, was instrumental in the development on and off the court of Ja Morant. You have Ronnie Hamilton with SEC experience at Ole Miss. It's just done an unbelievable job spearheading a couple of these high-level recruitments, and great coach too. And Cody Toppert has been fantastic as well, coming in from Memphis. And then our support staff. Brought multiple guys from Murray State who know what winning's all about. They've been fantastic and been able to add some pieces there as well. Of course, I have the mayor of Baton Rouge and Tasman Mitchell doing great work for us. And so it's really, a special group of people, and look forward to the journey ahead with all of them.
And the doctor, Kent Lowe, of course, the man.
That's a legend. You saw the response he got there at the Louisiana Hall of Fame ceremony. Yeah. Guy's a legend across the state, across the SEC.
I don't know you have any time for it, but get some sleep, man. You deserve it. Find a house, settle in, get a meal. For God's sakes, it's been an incredible 8-week run for you guys.
No, thanks a lot. Really excited to come on the show, Jordy. People have been great. The welcome we've received has been awesome. And can't wait to get my family down here this summer and get settled in Baton Rouge. And looking forward to that first tailgate party this fall as well.
Absolutely, Coach. Welcome to the South, man. Great work. We look forward to catching up again soon.
All right, Jordy. Thanks so much.
All right,
Have
man.
a great day.
See you.
Go Tigers.
Yes, sir. There he is, Matt McMahon, checking in from the LSU basketball office this morning.